Hi class. Last time you've been practice drawing human body proportion. You did this, so you should uh, uh, be aware of where each of the body part should be. Should be when you're drawing a human body. Okay, so make sure you remember this. Okay, so something to remember. Um, Same thing. This is what I think I went over this with you guys too. The only difference between the previous line and this is number 7. So you should label this on your sketchbook as well so that you know where each body part is located. Okay, so some other things that I want to let you know so that you're aware of, and it will help you when in your future drawings when you're drawing a human body. Okay, so one thing is know where the center of the body is. So to do that, you can either count it, you'll know like 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the fourth head, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the bottom half, and then you divide, from your head, divide it in half, and this is the middle of the uh, body. And another easier way to do this is, you draw a box around, make sure they are both side on left and right are equal, and then you draw a diagonal line. Use a ruler to do this, and you know, divide it from this corner to that corner, this corner to that corner, and where it intersects, it tells you where the center of the body is. Okay, it's good to remember where it's located. Um, in your future drawing. Okay, so you know how to balance out everything. Another thing I want you to be aware of is when you're drawing somebody who is, not standing up, or maybe they're sitting down or something like that, pose poses does not affect the proportion of the body. So pretend, you know, a real body and then a drawing of yours. Um, let's say if we fold the drawing like a piece of paper, we can still a we can give a sitting position without having overthink the anatomy, which is the structure of the human body. So no matter if that person is standing or sitting, the structure, the length, head length should not change. It should stay the same. Okay, something to uh, remember when you draw. Another thing I want you to know is the human body. It's about 2 heads width. Okay, so this is the head length, and it's about 2 heads, the size of the body. Okay, from shoulder to shoulder. And while man, it's a little bit wider, so 2.5 heads. Just so that you're aware, because they usually, okay, man has wider shoulders than woman. Okay, and then total length of the arm stretched out is the same length as your whole body. So when you stretch out the length of 2 arms should be the same height as the human body. It should be a basically a head length from left to right, and from top to bottom it should be a head length. This is cut off, so you should be aware of that. Another thing that will help you is you know to get into a habit of drawing this using kind of this circle um, to help you with where the arms are. Let's say, you're drawing arm down like this. You know exactly where the elbow is, your wrist is, and then fingertip is. Fingertip, I believe, should be on the fifth, right, head length. However, you want to, let's say this person's arm is stretched out. Um, One way is you can use this as the center, the joint area right here, shoulder joint, as the center of the circle, and you just draw a circle around it. Whether if this person raised their hand up, or stretch it to the right, you will know based it on the head length. When you do the circle, you don't have to draw a perfect circle, but approximately you will know exactly where the elbow should be, where the wrist is, um, and then where the fingertips are. So you should know the length of the person. So, like using the joint to help you do that. And then also, you can even try it with the legs too. Okay. So that's something, those are the things that I want you to know and be aware of. Last class, we learned about basically proportion of drawing a head. Today, what I want you to do is you're going to practice drawing this forehead. This are a little bit, you did something like this. I want you to draw everything that you see here as well. I want you to put a 2 there. 2 represents 2 years old. 6 means 6 years old. 12, around 12 years old. And 25, it's an adult. So when it's an adult, this is what you did. When you cut the image and, when you divide, the head in half, the midpoint, it should be where your eyeballs are, where your eyes should be. You should divide the eyes. Okay, starting where your ear is. And and then if it's a 12, like a teenager, it should be like a 12-year-old, a little bit older than 10, and it should be right on the upper eyelid. Okay, so it should be a little bit above because their head tend to be a little bit smaller. And if it's younger than 10, I would say between the eyebrow and the eye. Okay, so that should be where the center is of that when you divide the head in half. And then if it's a baby, like a 2-year-old, then the center of this should be where the eyebrow is. Okay, so you don't need to draw it like this. You can just draw a circle with eyes, nose, lips. You do need to know where each part is. So I want you to take some time and look at the in each of the image and take time drawing the boxes and dividing them. So right here, it's a box and you divide it in half, and you divide this half, and then this one you divide it in half, and then you're gonna divide this half in another half. So pretty much divide it in 8, but you don't need to draw all of them. So you know where each feature is. And then right here at the center of the face, divide in half. So everything should be symmetrical. Okay. That doesn't have to be, but kind of symmetrical. Okay. And I know exactly where each of your feature should be. Okay. So please, I want you to study this uh, uh, 4 images, and I want you to have this on your notebook. So if you don't have your notebook, you can take out a piece of paper. I want you to draw this 4 images on your notebook. Please do not just chase them. I want you to draw it and then measure it. Use the boxes that's given you and leave those boxes. Do not erase it because it's going to help you in the future. So you know exactly, when you're drawing maybe a baby or a younger person or, an adult, you know exactly where the eye should be and nose and mouth should be because they are different. Okay, so that's it for today. So go ahead and look at this image. This image is also uploaded on Schoology. So please do check Schoology for this image so that you can um, open it up and draw it on your notebook. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me.